Welcome back to another Canon review of Wonder Woman. Today we're going to get into some spoiler talk. So spoiler warnings go. The weekend has passed. People had a chance to see the movie. If you have not seen it, check out my non-spoiler review linked in the description. Go out, see the movie, then come back, check this out. So you've been warned. We're talking all spoilers. Alright. Steve Trevor dies. But anyway. So, I guess I have a lot of thoughts about this movie, especially now that I've been sitting around and letting it, marinate. But I think the best way to do it is in chronological order, otherwise I'll jump all over the place. So, start with the beginning with Themyscira. I love everything about Themyscira, the look, the pictures in the video we saw in the trailer. I already knew, they had a very scenic, very, picturesque island set up for the Amazonians. But seeing the actual Amazons is what was really cool to me. I mean, you hear that they use actual athletes. Of course, you had some, not top level, but big name actresses in the leading role as Queen Hippolyta and then the auntie of Wonder Woman, Diana. So, but everybody else surrounding, I like how first off, I like that some of them were black. I don't remember or really recall seeing that in comics. I don't read a lot of comics, but TV shows and stuff. So it was cool that, Amazonians were just women. They were black women. They were all pretty fit, but some were tall, super tall, some were shorter, some were sleek, some were really husky. So it was cool to see just the not the representation, but the variation that they put out there for the Amazonians, and it just really made them feel like, this was actually Themyscira. So I like that. Having Wonder Woman train with her aunt in secret, I thought it was a little weird, but I don't know. I'm glad they skipped ahead pretty quickly and got to her being Gal Gadot and really showing her as, in her current story, because I did not want to sit there too long about her training session. But the one thing that really stood out for me with Themyscira was the way they set up the story of the Greek gods, and having Zeus die and everybody else die except for Ares, and all, they really twist the mythology of Greeks, but they also twist Wonder Woman's mythology a little bit. I mean, if you follow the comics, she's had a few different origin stories, so it was kind of cool the way they set it up with, I don't know what that is, I feel like I'm starting to see that more in movies, though. It's not claymation, but it's some type of animation. It's not stop motion. I don't know what it is, but that kind of animation they used to tell the story, I thought that was pretty cool. It reminded me a little bit of Man of Steel, where they, on the ship, it told the story of Krypton, but they did it in kind of that pixelated form, so kind of reminded me of that. But anyway, I thought it was real cool, the way they kind of changed the Amazonians' role into being, not protectors, but really just, I don't know, it was weird, because it was naked women start coming out of the water, we're going to make man good again. Okay, what exactly do you mean by that? So, it was a little weird. It's not their typical origin, but I thought it was cool. And then the beach scene. Oh, man. Yeah. The one thing I'll say about that is I didn't like how easy it was to find Themyscira. It was okay, it was the cloak over it so Ares couldn't find it and all that. And typically, in the cartoons or whatever, they accidentally find Themyscira or whatever. But I felt like it could have been more magic put towards protecting it. Because it was okay, we accidentally traveled to the place. I just went past the shield and now I'm in Themyscira. So I thought it would have been nice if it was more of a force field or whatever. I get you had to have the battle scene on the beach, but I just wish it was more protected. To me, it was just weird. You had this paradise island that survived for thousands of years, and all of a sudden, just like that, oops, we accidentally found it. So it's to me, really, Ares couldn't happen to stumble upon it. So I don't know, that part was weird. But in that, I love the beach scene. I love it was kind of predictable. In the trailer, you saw Diana watching the bullet. They didn't show what happens, but you knew it was going to kill the Amazon. And then Diana was like, oh crap, men are here, guns and evilness. but you knew that her aunt had to die in order to really push her over the top. Because once the Amazonian got shot, it was like, man, that's messed up, but I just want to keep fighting. It wasn't like, oh my God, my world is ending. So I was like, somebody significant is going to have to die. And you know it's not going to be her mother. So to me, it was like, okay, that was an easy pick. I had no idea Robin Wright, who played the aunt, and I can't remember the name of the actress that played the mother. I had no idea they had such short roles. Like, I don't know. I felt like it was going to be some way Diana communicated back and forth with her mom, or maybe she went to the world and came back to Themyscira before the final battle or something. I never really thought like it would be over that fast. So, and from the way they shot the movie, you never heard anything like, Robin Wright was only there for 2 days, so nobody really knew that they had that short of a role. But I thought they did powerful work in the short time that they had it, and it was pretty good. I mean, yeah, that was really it with their Themyscira. The slow motion was kind of overdone, but I thought it was kind of cool still. Like, she just lands, sticks the arrows, and the ground starts. It was crazy. So, I thought the lasso scene went on way too long. Like, okay, it was kind of funny. And, but after a while, it's just like, okay, let's keep going. Like, let him say what he's got to say and move on. But anyway, so everything after Themyscira, once Diana hits that boat, it's a fish out of water story. Like, that's pretty much it until the third act. And so, while I thought it was, the jokes were good, it was well timed, I'm worried that upon repeat viewing, it's not going to be as funny. Fish out of water stories aren't always that funny to me the second time around, because you already seen it, it's coming, and it's like, okay, we get it, you're not from our world, keep moving on. So I'm wondering, like, on first review, I was like, okay, yeah, that does it for me, but on repeat value, am I really going to, find that really funny, or funny enough to get me through? Because the middle part is kind of long. I know some people said it was slow, but, it was London, it was dreary, reminded me of Harry Potter. It was kind of slow, things happened, but it wasn't the most exciting part of the movie. So I'm wondering if those jokes are going to be as good the second time around, because it really is just, I don't know what a door is. There's a baby. What does this do? That's pretty much all it was until you start getting to the action. So, yeah, I'm interested to see. So, talk about the main scene, the trench scene, No Man's Land. I said this in my non-spoiler review, I don't know how empowering this is per se, because this is not only a woman with superpowers that's a god, but this is also a woman that was raised Amazonian, speaks hundreds of languages, very pristine and all that good stuff, is a fighter. That's not relatable to a modern day person at all. So I don't know how empowering it is for women. Like people said, little girls watching this, it could be inspiring. So I agree with that. Now, one thing I won't disagree is the trench scene was strong for everybody. It was just a heroic moment. The build up is really what made it, because you saw parts of it in the trailer. She's climbing up, she has the gear on, and then she's shielding the bullet, she's slapping the bomb and all that. So you saw parts of it, but the build up is what made it so crazy in the actual movie, because it was like, come on, we got to get through here. No, we're not stopping. You can't save these people. This a lost cause. We got bigger fish to fry. And that's one thing they did well, is showing the casualties of war, which I didn't even think about in the movie. I was like, wow, okay, she's going to realize men are kind of messed up, but I didn't know they were going to really show that ground level stuff, because people made it sound like it was some Marvel movie or something, like it's so clean. It's not. It gets deep. It gets deep into some issues. It shows some stuff. So it's like, you see the horrors of war, people losing their family, people losing limbs, lives. And so it just all swells up to that culmination, like, no, screw this. I'm going to take care of this. And she just goes Wonder Woman. It was, oh man, it was nasty. It was like, for me, I don't know if it was empowering, it just was very heroic. And I absolutely loved it. So, and the thing I liked about it is that they came back and killed all those people. Not to be dark, But you got to realize, BVS set up this Wonder Woman where it was like hundreds of years ago. I left man's world. I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not Wonder Woman. She hasn't been Wonder Woman for over 100 years. And so coming into this movie as an origin story, I was like, okay, you have to show us what made Wonder Woman not want to be a hero. What made her give up her faith in man? And so hitting us with the casualties of war, hitting us with the, what the villains could actually do to her. She went so far, not far, because she kind of just did it on impulse, but she saved this village. And then she got all that praise, saw the happiness, what type of hero she could be. And then they turned around and just killed and wiped everything out that she saved. And the best part about it was that Gal Gadot didn't just have that kind of somber hero moment, and I'm not knocking it because I love BVS, but that moment where Clark is in the courthouse and it blows up and he's just like, dang, he's really messed up internally. She has an external reaction. It's all your fault, Steve. I could have saved that. She was freaking out. So I thought they played origin Wonder Woman really well, where she's not calm, collected in every situation. She's emotional. So I like that, and it really just drove home this idea that maybe men aren't what I thought they were, aren't what I thought they were. So that was cool. So skipping to the last part. The one thing, I had this movie about an 84, 85. The one thing that pushed it up was that last 30, 40 minutes or so. So the whole time we got the trailers, I'm thinking man, it's really obvious who Ares is. And then in the middle of the movie, Diana's like, oh crap, that dude's Ares. So I was like, man, they really made her figure it out that fast? She's not going to take time? And I was like, okay, that's different. And then they really, with the gas, they really pumped it up for this German guy to be Ares. And so when it came down to it, and she killed him and nothing happened, for a moment, I was like, man, I really wanted Ares to be somebody more background, more, conspicuous, someone we didn't see coming. I was like, I wanted to not a twist per se, but I wanted to see something more creative with Ares. But then Chris Pine kind of had that line where he was like, you know what? Maybe men are just good and bad. Maybe it's not just one Ares person that's making everybody evil. And so that was really the moment where it was like, okay, this whole movie comes to a culmination of life is not what you thought it was, Diana. They aren't what you think it is. It ain't, a storybook with an evil guy making everybody evil. And so you got to realize there's duality in man, darkness and light. And I was like, you know what? Even though it was really kind of obvious, I'll take that because you went with a deeper concept there. And then, boom, they give us the real Ares, this freaking Professor Lupin from Harry Potter. And so I love that twist. I was like, okay, yes, perfect. Somebody we didn't see coming. Somebody that was really playing strings, not really out there killing people. Then they added on to it with a twist in his mythology. He said, I'm not the god of war. I'm the god of truth. I was just trying to tell all the gods how evil my dad's creations were. And by showing what they could do to each other. He said, I gave them weapons, I gave them ideas, but I didn't make them use them. I didn't do anything. They did this themselves. I have no mind control over people. And so that just blew my mind. I'm a huge Greek mythology fan. So just thinking of twisting that Ares god of war, pure evil rage to just, hey, I'm the background player. They chose to do this. I was just trying to show my dad, no. Now, why would you kill everybody just to prove your point? Who knows? But still, it was an interesting twist. And if that wasn't like Man of Steel, when he grabbed that lasso and showed her the world without man and all that, that was General Zod and Kal-El and Man of Steel all day. So, great twist there. And then, I don't like that they showed Lupin's face when he became Ares. I thought he would transform into some, not monster, but some, God-like figure. And change his voice, make it deep and dark. But they kept his voice. You saw his little mustache behind the helmet. But I do like how he's able to create things out of thin air. He's able to manipulate lightning. He's able to, telekinesis, all that. It was like he was a real god. He's not just, I'm super strong and I can't die type of guy. Like, no, we're gods. We create, we can manipulate, we do whatever we want on Earth. So I thought that was cool that they showed him as a true god. Now, the ending parts. When Diana gets hit by those bombs and she can't hear, and then they have Steve Trevor kind of talking to her before he jumps on the plane. That was my stuff. That was my ish right there. Like, because even if they never showed what he said, it was just like, man, how tragic is that? That those last words she'll never remember, because she doesn't know he's about to jump on the plane and blow himself up. And so she never hears what he said. And I was like, such a tragic, poetic moment. But then they come back in her hour of need, and all of a sudden she's remembering. They turn the audio up and make it clear. Here's what he's saying. And the best part was she was like, whatever it is, Steve, I can do it. Let me do it. They completely changed Steve Trevor into the perfect gender bender of a sidekick. Usually what they do with a woman, they did every trope throughout the movie. Every trope. And so they really twisted that. And I appreciate it wasn't done like, oh, he's just a dumb guy. Girls gotta save guys. They did it respectfully. Like, he has the heart, the want to go out there and just get stuff done because he's a good guy. But she has all the power. So she's like, no, stay back. I'm the guy. Let me handle this. And he's like, no, this is something I gotta do. I love you. And then she goes on a temper tantrum, goes God mode and start killing. But I just thought that was an artistic thing where you set it up where it's like so blurred out, the audio we can't hear. It's kind of tragic. But then you come back around and you turn up the audio and you show us what he said, and that pushes her forward. I thought that was amazing. The best part to me is that after Ares is dead, you got to realize there's no more gods. I mean, you got her. She's technically a demigod. But there's no more gods. So they set it up in the beginning. It looks just like Justice League. You got Poseidon standing there with the trident. You got Hermes. You got Zeus. Hermes for Flash. Zeus for Superman. All those things. Athena for Wonder Woman. And so now that they set up the mythology where they're not just sitting there waiting. Hades is not waiting. They're all dead. And he's the last one. She killed them. And so now it sets this idea where Justice League is the new gods. Because people always said DC characters are more like gods than they are heroes or whatever. And so they set up this idea where like that in the light, the Pantheon is going to be this Justice League replacing these people. Because Poseidon's trident fell down to the seas to Atlantis, and now Aquaman has it. So it's just real poetic. I love the way that wrapped up. So yeah, I think that's most the spoilers. I didn't really like that ending shot of her just jumping out the window and turn. I was like, okay, that was weird. Because they went out of their way to make sure you didn't know if she could fly or not. But I thought that was weird. Yeah, I think that was it. It was a pretty good spoiler discussion. So I'm assuming you saw the movie. Go to the comment section. Let me know what you thought of the movie. Spoiler stuff. What were your favorite scenes? What scenes you didn't like? Like, thumbs up, subscribe. And if you heard here, it's official canon.